What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one, the only Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scotty, what's happening, brother?
Oh, I'm looking to get into some more news. We had a nice round of topics last night.
Yeah, we certainly did, dude. We had a lot to talk about yesterday, and today it seems to be no different. Let's go going into today's show, but before we get there, if you can't find us, well, then you should be heading to InsideTheGame.ca. Watch the daily show, watch the weekly show. You can catch all of our reviews over there, as well as podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Dude, coming up on today's show, are we getting a God of War Ragnarok release date soon? We'll get into that one. There's a lot of speculation. Absolutely. I saw that and went, no way. But we'll get into it. Here we go with more. Activision Blizzard legal officer leaves Blizzard Entertainment amidst a lawsuit. And 343 responds to fans about Halo Infinite Battle Pass progression system. Because it seemed a little weird. But let's get into it, dude. Let's get the bad crap out of the way. You ready?
Yeah, let's... I'd be so happy if we never heard about this ever again.
I know. I saw this. I was like, yep. And it continues. But either way, Blizzard chief legal officer quits amid lawsuit. Claire Hart, who had been the company's top lawyer for 3 years, resigned on Friday. But we're just hearing about it now because Blizzard Entertainment chief legal officer Claire Hart has resigned from the embattled company. She announced the news in a LinkedIn post yesterday, saying that last Friday, September 17th, was her final day. Hart, who had been in the role for 3 years, who was previously clocked a decade at Google, according to LinkedIn, did not cite a reason for her resignation, saying that only the past 3 years have been full of unexpected twists and turns, but I feel honored to have worked with and met so many great people at Blizzard and across the Activision Blizzard businesses.
Okay. Well, she has a good message there because, of course, it's not everybody that's adding to this issue. And even with this issue, I don't believe it's been a terrible place forever. So it's good that she makes a mention of her time spent meeting good people, but the past 3 years full of unexpected twists and turns. That's one way to put it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I see this a bit like, the high school janitor quits right after every toilet blows up.
Oh man, well, that's a reference.
Just kind of like, yeah, it seems like a good time to head out.
Well, yeah, right. It just seems like, okay, it's really getting heated in here, and I can get into a lot of things over my head or just things she doesn't even want to deal with, right? So bail out of the company, let's get out of here and find something else. No news as to where she's going, but on top of that, you ready? Kotick also placed his words in here saying absolutely no place at Activision Blizzard for unequal treatment. I rolled this into the same thing at the same time. After 2 more investigations are revealed by the press, Publisher's CEO says that committed to addressing all workplace issues in the forthright and prompt manner. A day after 2 more investigations into Activision Blizzard's came to light, the publisher today released a statement assuring that it is cooperating with the various regulatory bodies on those issues. Quote, "We are deeply committed to making Activision Blizzard one of the best, most inclusive places to work anywhere," Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick said. He also quoted, "There is absolutely no place anywhere in our company for discrimination, harassment, or unequal treatment of any kind. While we continue to work in good faith with regulators to address and resolve past workplace issues, we also continue to move ahead with our own initiatives to ensure that we are the very best place to work. We remain committed to addressing all workplace issues in a forthright and prompt manner." Scott, that's great to say, but it seems like it's a little too late, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's kind of, again, it seems like a little kid just got a spanking and now they're telling you what you want to hear. But yeah. I hope that there is some truth to this, and I hope that they really are, cranking down on it. They kind of have to at this point legally.
Absolutely, right? Well, we saw, that's what we said, like Claire just left because she doesn't want to deal with it anymore. A lot of people, I think, are bailing out of Activision right now, and we talked about it yesterday. And the fact that, honestly, I bet you their stocks are plummeting right now with the amount of crap they're having to deal with over there because of all of this stuff that just kind of came to light that they just been sweeping under the carpet for so long, and eventually, you know, it all hits the fan, Scott, as they say.
Yeah.
So
it really did, and the only hopeful thing is that this is resolved and people get some closure out of it, because
hopefully
you can't undo the past, but this sets a precedent for every workplace.
Well, absolutely, right? I think this is the step forward now that this industry needs to kind of take a good look at and hopefully get all these issues resolved. We've seen other companies in the past deal with a lot of this too, but nothing in the light that Activision Blizzard are currently in with the whole media just on top of them, covering every little bit, including ourselves, right? Because it's something that I think that needs to be addressed and needs to be dealt with as soon as possible. So we're here, but at the same point, like you say, Scott, dude, I'd be happy too if we don't have to hear any more about this and they just get things fixed, right?
Yeah, I hope that means that it's not happening everywhere if we're not hearing about it.
Yeah,
I'm sure this has been going on for years in this case alone.
No, for sure. But something I do want to hear, though, Scott, is God of War Ragnarok raises release date hopes with a coming soon listing.
Oh.
Right? So a coming soon section on the official PlayStation website has raised hopes that the wait for details about God of War Ragnarok's release date won't last much longer. The initial tease for God of War Ragnarok hit the web in September 2020 during a digital PlayStation 5 event. At the time, Sony in Santa Monica studio only confirmed a logo, the Ragnarok story arc, and the nebulous 2021 release window. After approximately a year of silence, Santa Monica studio closed out September 21's PlayStation Showcase with a first look at the God of War sequel in action, which, dude, got me pumped.
I believe I remember you telling me about that one. Holy, was that good.
It looks so good. Viewers were treated to over 3 minutes of gameplay footage packed with teases about the new journey that awaits Kratos and an older Atreus. Dude, he's a little bit older now. He's got a couple years into him, right? Freya made...
I wonder, do you think he's going to have to call him something other than boy now?
Son. Yeah, he had to move over to son.
Well, I remember why that was the reason, actually. They didn't have a set name for the character at the time, but they needed to record voice lines. So now that he is known as Atreus, hopefully that gets its way in there.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where that... Dude, I never even thought of that, right? I wonder if that sticks still moving forward. You know, sometimes you just get that pet name or like this little nickname as you kind of grow with age, but some things stick and some don't. I wonder if this, in this instance, will stick around as boy, because it was so prominent and well known within the first game.
Oh, yeah.
I say the first game, but really like the remake, I guess, of God of War, but from 2018. So I wonder, like, it's just, dude, everybody knows that line. Like, get like
boy.
Exactly, right? It's just so iconic now within that first set piece of the remake of God of War. But Freya made a few brief appearances as well, in the character art of God of War's version of Thor made the rounds not long after the Sony hosted event ended. To the chagrin of the fan, however, one key detail went without mention: a release date. So now Sony PlayStation's website lists coming soon. Dude, really?
We are running out of 2021, but it seems that that's not the hard target anymore.
No, absolutely not. That's been pushed to 2022. So I can't even see that. I don't even know why that's there. Why is that coming soon? That's not coming soon. It's not coming soon at all. I wouldn't expect this game anytime until 2023. I don't think we see it next year. I really don't.
It is such a big property that, you know, they're gonna have to take the time that they need to do it, and that's really, we talk about it all the time. That's how it should be done. Yep. This is a flagship IP. You cannot fumble a ball on this. So 2023 seems like a long time on paper, but it really isn't.
Well, okay, so we saw Cory Barlog talk about the game when he was at that director role for 2018's game, and they said that game took 5 years to make, right?
Oh man.
So we talked about the fact that Cory Barlog, why they put the game into 2 games instead of making it a trilogy. And the reason why is because he doesn't want to span 15 years. So if we're going off of Cory's words here, right? 2018 release. Now they've been working on the game for a few more years. Obviously, it's now 2021. But 2023 will put us into that 5-year window, dude.
Yeah. Well, and that's if they started work immediately after, which they very well might have, but it could have been a couple months, half a year to make that kind of transition. So
sure.
2023, a big year is going to be.
Oh man, what else was coming out? The new GTA was coming out in 2023, or was that 2025? I think my prediction was 2025.
I think it's actually 2525.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, GTA 6. Wait until then. But dude, let's move on to what's going on in the world of Halo and 343. Halo Infinite Studio responds to progression criticisms and explains challenges. The Battle Pass system, Scott, what do you know of it so far?
Well, I believe we talked about this, and it's more about doing specific tasks instead of growing an experience bar. The more traditional way is, even if you're losing, you're still getting some experience for what you've done. That would push you forward in the Battle Pass, but that's not the case with this. So I am not surprised that there's some criticism on that.
Not at all.
At the same time, what could be really wrong with these challenges? I'm not sure I understand.
Well, let's get into it then, because 343 Industries is assuring fans that it is taking their concerns about player progression in Halo Infinite to heart in its latest newsletter. With Halo Infinite set to finally launch this December, finally, dude, December 8th, take note. And a little highlight note, too. If you're catching this, what is today? Wednesday? So if you're catching this now, this coming weekend, is actually the new tech test. So make sure you kind of keep an eye on your emails and you get into that Halo Infinite multiplayer beta going on. But
you may see my gamer tag.
Dude, I'm in. I actually got in this time. Last time, I somehow got bypassed. That was dude, I was disappointed, but either way, now I get to play. This actually ties into this one and a later date as well, from what I understand. So
yeah, I think you're right. There's 2 kind of weekends, I think, that come up.
Yeah, exactly. But let's get back into what's going on here, because 343 Industries is pulling out all the stops to ensure that fans are happy with the latest installment of Microsoft's massive, influential sci-fi FPS franchise. This rings especially true to the wake of Halo Infinite's rough initial showing at the Xbox Game Showcase live stream last July, which was so ill received that 343 Industries delayed Infinite ahead of its planned launch alongside the Xbox Series X last winter. In the months since then, 343 Industries has been steadily unveiling the changes and improvements that are coming to Halo Infinite, but there are still some areas that players are concerned about. One of the most recent issues to come up is how Halo Infinite handles player progression and how players will only be able to level up their battle passes by completing certain in-game challenges. This is marked different from how, well, that's what we touched on, right? How you progress in other games, just with XP. You just grind and you get XP, and that's what's going on. And that's what they said. They're taking our feedback to heart. So I'm curious to see. But dude, how many times do you just want to shoot somebody with a needler to upgrade in the battle pass, right? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it will force you to do some kind of plays that you don't enjoy. But
that's the problem.
That's sort of, I don't see it as a problem personally. In Call of Duty, if you're leveling up your weapons and unlocking all the things, then you're kind of forced to use a shotgun if you're going for that completionist thing. And I always do. So it kind of got me to try some new things, and I figured out what I actually did like was more diverse. So I hope people kind of take these challenges with an open mind, even though, to your point, if it has to be 30 people dressed with a needler, then so be it. It's not going to be a bad time.
No, for sure, right? Some players are worried that Halo Infinite will force them to waste time on challenges and play styles they normally wouldn't bother with just to level up, which is that is the concern, right? The ultimate concern is, I really just don't want to do that. That's the thing. I don't want to have to go out and do that challenge. I'd rather do A, B, and C instead of having to worry about EFD kind of thing, right? And all that stuff. So it's kind of one of those scenarios. But like you say though, Scott, maybe it opens up a different play style because it pushes you in that direction and now gives you the opportunity to try something new that you wouldn't normally try. You'll often see that within the achievement system. You'll get your list of achievements, and yeah, if you are one of those 100%ers, then you have to go and play your play style this way, but then maybe make it through the round without dying, and then maybe make it through the round without doing this, this, and this. So it opens up other playing opportunities, but I can see how some people are a little bothered by the fact that they aren't going to want to do some of these challenges. Dude, you ready to get into some more? Let's get into your game. Why did you take this one?
Yes, this is something interesting to me for sure. Battlefield 2042 early access has a release date and it's confirmed. So if you're wanting to play this game a little bit early, DICE has confirmed the game will be available a week before November 19th. A week before that is November 12th. I tried to say it all at the same time. But this will be available at an extra cost, as customers will be able to pick up Battlefield 2042 Gold or Ultimate Editions in order to get into the action early. Okay, so that's interesting, but it is a little bit of a price wall. I'm sure the Gold Edition has more than just the beta in it to certify that title, but
sure,
I'm excited about that. This is a big deal. And
are you getting Gold?
I may have to. I'm a big Battlefield fan. So
I know you are.
It would be money well spent as long as it's not shortcut cheating tickets. I hate those. But
yeah,
if it comes with the first DLC, there's always a lot of expansions to Battlefield, so hopefully it has a tie-in like that. But I'm in anyways. I'm hooked.
Dude, I did this with EA Access when they announced Anthem. I bought, so the way you can get, yeah, I know, rest in peace, dude. So you could get the game 10 days early if you were an EA member, right? So the EA Play, if you were a part of that, then you can get into the game early and then start, and away you go. I think you can only get so far, but then you can carry your progression over and continue on with the game. Here, instead of doing that method, they want you, instead of buying I would say the normal cost, they want you to go in for all the bells and whistles and buy that one. This is a sneaky way, instead of going, well, here's some more loot boxes, right? They're getting away from the loot box model instead, and they found another way to maneuver this around. Oh, if you want it in early, well, then you're going to need to go for the Ultimate Edition. And that's where they're setting this up. This is a business decision, Scott, to get people in early, right? It's not a fan-based move. This is a business decision so they can get people roped in like yourself, because you're such a Battlefield fan that you're going to go, man, if I can get this game 10 days early, 2 days early, whatever it may be, most times you'll spend that extra money. You're already getting the game, right? You already had plans of playing Battlefield 2042. So you don't want to be left on the sidelines knowing, Scott, that the game is already in people's hands and you're sitting there waiting, and you're waiting because you didn't buy the Ultimate Edition, you bought the normal edition.
This reminds me of the last time this ever came up, which was the Halo 3 open beta, or not open beta, it was closed rather. Okay, I bought Crackdown just to get that open beta, and it was well worth the money. I really loved Crackdown, but a lot of people did not have the same feeling. This way, at least it's more condensed. If you like Battlefield, you're just getting more Battlefield. It's not another game that you're kind of shoehorned in.
So in order to get that, you're going to have to get the Gold or Ultimate Editions. What do you feel will be in the Ultimate Edition?
I think that'll be a first year season pass, if I had to guess. For a year might be kind of ambitious, but that's what I think they would pair with something with a higher price tag, of course.
I'm dying. Well, so I did this recently. I purchased Hood Outlaws and Legends. I went for the Ultimate Edition, and rest in peace to Hood Outlaws and Legends, dude, because every time I join, I can't get on. And you know what that got me? It got me the entire Battle Pass. The next 3 seasons I had lined up. Dude, they're right now, they're amidst the recent Battle Pass. and I can't even find a team to get on to play with. So it's just
that extra edition just came with a slap in the face is what it did.
Dude, it hurts so bad because I was pumped to play this game, and we've played it on stream. We've had a great time playing it. They brought in a PvE mode. I had a great time playing that. But dude, if you are solo, you are not playing this game because there's nobody else on there to pair with. It has this it does now have cross-play. So my brother is on PlayStation, I'm on Xbox. I cannot invite my brother over to play.
It just pairs up. Established
nothing.
Friends list.
Nope, it just pairs up, dude, and then you hope for the best, right? But the other one is that it's just you and PC players. Well, we all know what it's like to play Xbox and PC. Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah, if anybody played Predator crossplay.
Man. But yeah, maybe it is one of those, here's the full year of content, right? How far do you think they have that year planned out, Scott? Do you think they have season 1 already done and then they're working now towards getting season 2 ready? Because we talk heavily on here about the games as service model, right? And how a lot of them live or die on this, the fact that they either have content or they don't have content. And to keep Battlefield going, yeah, they do have Battlefield Portal, which is, I think, a great addition because that's going to help keep the community going. Often I refer to Trials. Trials is one of my favorite games of all time. And every now and then, dude, I'll bounce back into that game and I'll go to the community tab to go in and check out the races over there. Some of them are absolute trash, but some of them are fantastic, right? And they're great challenges.
Little Big Planet.
yeah, exactly. But that's one way of keeping your community going. The other way, though, is relying on the developer to then, produce the content that's going to keep you going back and wanting more.
I think it'll be similar to how Battlefield 1 was handled, where it opens up new campaigns that consist of 1, 2, or 3 new maps, and they just kind of get added to the normal playlist as time goes on. But they were at a price tag, of course.
Of course.
And the year, I think, was quite long. I'm not certain I remember it correctly, but I think there was 2 campaigns added in the first year, and then 2 more a year beyond that. So this in the case of 42 or 2042, it might not be so large or a games of service kind of thing. I think it'll be more calculated like that, a strong DLC at a time.
Gotcha.
But I think they probably have the first one figured out, if not complete.
Yeah, I'd hope they have it finished by now. But Scott, why don't we get into it, dude? What game announcements and releases are out for today?
Well, we have Pokemon Unite launching on iOS and Android, and that is tomorrow. It has crossplay and cross progression. That's a big deal. I like that.
Right? That's a huge deal, dude. I saw this and I went, man, it's okay. So, I'm not a Pokemon fan whatsoever. I have Pokemon Unite downloaded on the Switch, and I have yet to try it. But I want to try it because I'm looking for a MOBA that I'm able to kind of jump in and yet bounce out at the same time. So,
yeah, it's on iOS. MOBA's not quite my thing, but I've seen my friends play it a lot, and this is on Nintendo Switch as well. Yep. It is important to note the cross-platform cross-play is between mobile devices and Switch, so that is included. That might be unfair to some, but that's why you get a Switch.
Yeah. I don't know if it's necessarily that unreliable, because really I'm playing my Switch in handheld mode anyways. So it's not that different than the actual virtual controls, I would think. Yeah. Somewhat, right? Are you going to try this out at all?
I'm not particularly curious on this one. I think I'm just disenfranchised with MOBAs in general.
It's the game mode that turns you off, because you're a Pokemon fan.
Paragon came out, Paragon might change my mind. But other than that, I liked Heroes of the Storm a lot. But that was its own thing. It wasn't really.
Rest in peace, Paragon. Epic killed that game. That is really unfortunate, but it's good news. Meta Studios did pick up the game. It was fun, which is funny because now it's known as Predecessor, which is also funded by Epic Games. Go figure, right?
They just put a new paint job on it. That's all they did.
Well, yeah, it's one of those scenarios. Meta came in, they've been working away, but they filled out the grant, I believe it is, and that's done by Epic, and Epic signed them up and gave them the grant for the funding of the game, which was a huge move. But dude, you know what that's gonna do for us though? It's going to wrap up today's show. Everybody, thank you once again for hanging out with us. You can always catch us over at InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services, and TV streaming networks around the globe. Head over to the official ITG on Twitter. Make sure you hit us up with a follow there. And if you like, you can also follow me, Artistic Gamer 28, and that's Scott at the official, at Savage. Dude, until tomorrow, everybody, we'll see you inside the game.